Bah.
Well, hello there. How are you? Today I've already prepped my face with Village Barber shaving oil. My razor is going to be this. It's a 3-piece Neillite 400 Bakelite razor. And in there, on its first use, I have one of these Personna Platinum blades from the red box. And my brush is going to be this Yaqi. It's a 24 millimeter, the Sagrada Familia brush, synthetic black knot. And my soap, well, let's see, I have it in here in the shave soap puck portion of the shave bowl. I'll show you the rest of that. That's the part that goes on top of there. This is for lathering cream, has a space for your brush and a razor. And this is for lathering soap. My soap, by the way, is the Ogallala Bay Rum Orange variety. So today we're going to go out to Ogallala, Nebraska, which was another town to which longhorn cattle were driven from Texas. I forgot to bring the little box that soap comes in here, but I'll show you that in a little bit. And I'll go ahead and try to get lathered up here, excuse me, and put maybe just a tiny little bit of water. It's not going to need much, just a little drop on the brush here, and here we go. And I hope you're all doing really well out there this week. And every week, I hope every week is good for you. Hope your shaves, your health, your life, your career, your hobbies are going well. Oh, your love life, your financial life, just your life in general. I hope it's good. I've had some really nice shaves lately. And this is a nice soap. Nice easy to use brush. I got this a little too wet at first and had to kind of start over. This is not a thirsty soap at all. And I hope that's enough there. I'll go ahead and wet the razor. And first pass, which will be with the grain. And as I've shown you on other incarnations of this channel, these razors, the Neillite 400 Bakelite, have 4 scallops on one side of the razor, and the other side there's 8 scallops. So there's kind of different levels of aggression here, but I'll use both sides. You could use this like you would a single edge razor, but I'm going to use both sides, and I think it'll all come out in the wash, so to speak. So here I go. Just for the heck of it, I'll start with this side, which I think may be the more aggressive side. Oh, let's see. I had so much I wanted to talk about. I'll go ahead and get this started here. Doing kind of a bit of a Gillette slide. That's where you go diagonally like that. According to the gentleman that runs Razor Emporium, I saw him mention that on one of his videos some time ago. Before I continue here, let me put up a little map of Nebraska, and I'll show you where Ogallala is. I'll put a little arrow or something pointing to it. It's almost out to the panhandle, that part of Nebraska that sticks up over Colorado and abuts Wyoming on its western end. Ogallala was, like I said, another cow town, and occasionally cattle were driven all the way up north to Ogallala, because Nebraska is north of Kansas, and part of it's north of Colorado. And the trail that they were driven along out there, almost parallel to the Colorado border, was either called the Western Trail or sometimes the Goodnight Loving Trail, named after a Mr. Goodnight and a Mr. Loving that were both cattle barons, evidently. Excuse me. And Ogallala shaving soaps are made in Ogallala, Nebraska. I did not know that until a couple of years ago. I had seen them advertised, and I didn't have any at that point. And I think that occasionally the Ogallala soaps and aftershaves and so forth would be included in baskets of products you could get that were made in Nebraska. Although when searching for one of those online recently, the basket of products I saw available didn't have the Ogallala soaps in them. In fact, the last time I went to Ogallala soaps, shaving soaps website, it was just a website that showed what they offered and directed you to other vendors in order to purchase those products. Excuse me again. You had a little dissipation here, but I think that's because I did something wrong. It'd be alright. Comfortable shave so far anyway. I don't even know what side of the razor I'm using. I guess this is the one with 8 scallops, but I'm just hoping everything comes out in the wash. I usually have no appreciable problems using this razor, and I'm going to flip it over and for the other side of my neck here, use the 4 scallop side there, if you can see that. I'm going to show that map of Nebraska again and I'll try to show you roughly where the Goodnight Loving Trail or the Western Trail is that led through western Kansas and up to Ogallala there. Hopefully you can see that. And now, just for the sake of a little education, maybe for all of us, here's a little inset map from the Nebraska State Highway map, a little inset map of Ogallala, Nebraska. It's a small community between, I think, 4,000 and 5,000 people, that population range there. Well, I'm going to pop back in really quick. I'll come back to you. Well, the plan is to be freshly lathered for a second pass, which will be across the grain. Okay, I'm back, lathered again, and here's the box that the soap puck came in. It's your genuine Ogallala Bay Rum. It says Bay Rum and Sweet Orange shaving soap. That's the variety of soap that I have here. And that is pretty good stuff. Now here we go, pass number 2 across the grain. Sometimes I'll get a soap to lather, a good soap, and this is a good soap. But occasionally I'll get some dissipation, or the soap, again, through no fault of its own, will not translate to a good lather on my face. But I attribute that to 2 things. Maybe the fact that even though I've been doing traditional shaving for, going on 7 years now, maybe my learning curve is a little steep. Maybe I'm not always good at making my lathers, but even more so, I think that the problem is this is the hardest water here that I've ever encountered, at least that I've ever noticed, because, well, I think that has something to do with sometimes why the lathers do not, well, the soap lather, whatever, doesn't translate always to a good lather on my face. But of course, with something like this, this is getting a little dry too. but not too bad. Sometimes also I'll err too much on either too much dryness or too much water, too much wetness, I suppose. But that's all right. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was still going across the grain here. Now, let me go ahead and rinse this. Okay. This is a fairly mild to medium aggression razor. I guess you could say the one side of it might be mild and the other side might be more medium. I don't know, but I'm certainly, excuse me, feeling the sharpness of this blade, and I may have to go get a drink of water or something. Excuse me. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, back in focus. I still got another side here to do my lip. Upper lip here, or above the lip. Probably not a good idea to actually shave your lips. All right. Okay. I like this soap. I really do. That'll be it for this pass. I'm going to pop out, try to fix a few things here, and hopefully I'll be back to you freshly lathered for a third pass against the grain. Okay, it's time for that third pass against the grain here. Man, I should have got some coffee when I was out, and I tried to turn the notifications off on here again. I don't know what happened there. You got to be smarter than the technology, I guess, but, well, there's so much new technology, or so much just technology in general lately. I'm going to continue my history lesson a little bit, since we're shaving and having a little history of the Old West. Sometimes cattle were driven to Omaha, Nebraska, which is on the other end of the state, the east end. And there's a map of Omaha and its smattering of suburbs. And then back to a map of Nebraska in general, the state. And I'll put a little arrow pointing to where Omaha is there. But usually cattle were driven to cow towns in Kansas, and the earliest town, I might as well show that too, the earliest cow town was Sedalia, Missouri, right there. And then I'll put a little inset map of Sedalia there for you to see. This is going to be an interesting video to edit, but anyway. This lather keeps dissipating mostly on my neck, it seems like. I'll just freshen that up a little bit. Got quite a bit of lather here with not too much effort. I'll go ahead and go to my neck now on this pass. Getting kind of red already, but I don't care. I love shaving. I love this traditional shaving because it's so interesting. There's always something to learn. Okay. I have two of these Neillite Bakelite razors. This one's brown and the other one's black. Otherwise, they're pretty much identical. Let's see here. I have to be especially careful when I'm going against the grain underneath my nose here. In fact, I don't want to go too crazy because that's one of the easiest places for me to get weepers. It seems like all you have to do is breathe on my skin and, well, I think I got a little weeper already, but nothing too consequential. But yeah, all you got to do is breathe on my skin or just touch it, and it seems like it starts getting red anyway, whether I'm shaving or not. But that's all right. I'll be right back, and I'll do pickups. Oh, Cal, what time is it? Pickup time, baby. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's pickup time. And let's see, what else? Yeah, I thought I had something to say. Oh, well, I was going to say that I think, I'm going to freshen this up a little already. I think that sometimes our water actually gets a little bit softer, unless it's my imagination, but after a hard rain, or after just a lot of rain, in the reservoir or wherever it goes, the water tower. I think that, well, since rainwater is soft water, and well water or water well out of the ground or out of the stream even can be hard, but if there's a lot of fresh rainwater from those streams and rivers and so forth, I sometimes think that for a little while our water may get just the least bit softer. I don't know if that's true or not, but I've always wondered. Sometimes it feels like when it's been raining a lot, yeah, sometimes it almost feels to me like the water gets softer, the lathers get easier to make, but I don't know, maybe that's positive ions from the rainstorm affecting my brain. Your guess is as good as mine. Excuse me a second. I'm going to do a little, trying to get back in focus here. Do a little feel around here. Not too bad. Of course, with one of these, and I don't want to go too crazy, this is a pretty sharp blade. With one of these red Personna blades, you're going to get a pretty close shave. Try to get one or two of these trouble spots a little better here. And I am still hearing some feedback, but my skin can be kind of sensitive, so I'm always in a little bit of danger of weepers and just some redness if I overshave, if I try too diligently to get BBS, although pretty close. Yeah, except for a couple of little spots. I think I'd have to call this BBS shave. I don't know if this is the most comfortable to use razor I have, but I like it a lot. It's certainly interesting. The, let's see, the Neil company and the 400 company got together and made these. Well, I'm going to rinse the razor, the brush, everything, whatever needs rinsed here in my face. I'll come back to you with your friend and mine, the famous Mr. Towel. Here he is. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. It's our good friend, Mr. Towel. Whew. Ah. Yes, sir. Ah, wow. Okay. We'll put Mr. Towel back where he goes here in a second. And the freshly laundered but still humble Mr. Towel there. Put him over here, and I will commence doing some recaps and putting the finishing touches on the shave here. First of all, off camera and before the video started, I prepped my face with Village Barber shaving oil. My razor has been this, a Neillite 400 Bakelite razor, 3-piece, 2 different aggressions, 4 scallops there and 8 scallops on that side. And let's see, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, and it's kind of hard to see in the slide anyway. I think I have it there. You might just be able to see it's embossed on the cap there. It says Neillite 400. The 400 is written out, but you can't see it too well in this light and maybe without a magnifying glass. Okay, my soap, what did I do with that? The box here, excuse me. Hi there, how you doing? Ogallala Bay Rum, the Bay Rum and Sweet Orange variety of shaving soap. Okay, and I lathered that puck in this, excuse me again, hi, the shave puck soap portion of the shave bowl. This goes on there. This part's for lathering creams, especially creams out of tubes and so forth. Oh, and it's like all the surfaces of this are, there's a micro texture in there. You can't, it's just, you may not be able to feel it outright, but it's in there, kind of a micro texture, which is supposed to improve lathering. And it certainly didn't hurt on this. I got lather to a fault in this. Okay, so I gotta wipe my hand off here and reach into magic cabinet number 2 and grab the Humphreys Witch Hazel, the unscented variety here. And I got soap all over me, it seems like. From touching that bowl, there was so much overage. So no problem lathering that soap. Some dissipation on the face, but there may be reasons for that. Okay. Yeah, close shave, so I am getting some sting because I always overdo it a little bit, but I don't care. I'm not going anywhere special, and no one important is coming by. And it's so fun to shave, anyway. Okay, well, let me show you that again, the Humphreys Unscented Witch Hazel there. Okay, now for an aftershave, I don't have the aftershave that goes with the soap, but I do have some Chiseled Face Santa Paula California Citrus aftershave. Pretty zesty stuff, and I thought it might go with the soap and add a little bit of zing. Nice scent on the soap, by the way. I'd give it a scent strength of about 2.5 out of 5. It's probably right about where it should be. I'm trying to get the get this into my hand here, some of this, and get that going. Whoa, come back and focus. And put a little on the wrists, a little behind the ears. Ooh, that's gonna sting. So I'm just gonna slap this stuff on. Seems like slapping myself in the face seems to, I guess, take my mind off any sting and soon alleviates it. And that smells pretty nice. It doesn't go with the soap exactly, but it kind of does too. The citrus part adds a bit of zing. And I'll show you that again. I do have the soap that comes with this. I'll use that another time. But the Chiseled Face Santa Paula California Citrus Aftershave. I'll put the cap back on that. So that's what that looks like. Okay, and finally one more thing over here. The Dove Men Care Post-Shave Balm, the Hydrate variety. There's the box it comes in. And I'll take it out of the box here. I tend to keep boxes, but there's what it looks like out of the box. And you just pop open this little thing here and whoop, squirt some of that in the hand there. There we go, and that should be plenty. That should be plenty right there, just a little bit. And for some reason, I think that this post-shave balm goes really well, or somehow enhances your sweeter or maybe your citrus type. Your soaps, your aftershaves, and so forth. Let's see. I'll go ahead and do the forehead, eyelids. Try not to get any in the eyes there. And then maybe some on the back of the neck. So forth. And that's about it. And I should quit being shiny here in a moment or two. Boogity boogity, come back and focus. Thank you for joining me again. I'll try to be back same time next week. And, well, until then, peace.